Good morning. This is DJ Advice. Mocha. Anyway, what I want to address is what Brian Red has addressed, and also Jonathan Elliskins, and that has to do with ASCAP, BMI, RIAA, prints, lawyers, publicists, match third-party content. I got all this written down. 3 strikes and you're out. My mixes, music recognition software, social media. So I'm gonna I got them all post-it notes here. What I want to address is YouTube, and I was a little upset because Jonathan is a really cool guy, and he's got some great advice, and kind of a mentor as well. And there's a lot of great things that he puts out there. I mean, the content he has. I mean, and I didn't understand that. You would think that YouTube would, I don't know, would be on Jonathan's side and fight. And I, from my understanding, when Brian's video said that Jonathan didn't even. He said that there wasn't even the music content was even on that video. But I realized when I go back to my videos, there's what they call third-party content. It says match third-party content, which maybe can come back and nip you in the butt, I guess. So what I'm going to address here is that I do understand, and I agree with Brian, that whoever owns that content or that music or produces it or writes it or whatever, they're owed that royalty. They're owed that compensation. It's like if you produce something, you would want to be compensated for it as well. So I do understand that. What I didn't understand was, as DJs, that we are creative. But then I did understand YouTube's their dilemma. They have a dilemma. They, like I said, they have voice recognition software. Excuse me, sorry, my bad. That's the NSA that has voice recognition software. Shh, don't tell anybody. Going back, they have music recognition software, which kind of will recognize if you're playing a song, and that way they can, if they're either going to flag it or tell you can't use it, or they'll just totally not even post your video up there, or they'll take the audio off. So I do understand that that they have to watch their backs, because they will be sued as well. So YouTube has a chance that will be sued by the record companies or the labels or the artists. So they have to really be careful. Now, Brian had mentioned that incident with Prince, where Prince basically was complaining about this little baby dancing up and down to his tunes being played in the background on like a little boom box. Now, I will say, I maybe if Prince watches YouTube, I don't know if he did or he didn't. Maybe he did at that time, because it went viral and everybody was watching this little baby bounce up and down with Let's Go Crazy by Prince. Maybe he just didn't like being associated with a bouncing baby. I don't know. But I really believe his publicists and his lawyers or his advisors at the company said, hey, we don't want to be associated with this. But at the same time, you would think that was kind of a good thing, because then people would recognize, hey, Let's Go Crazy, that's a great song. So in a way, in essence, they promoted that Prince. It went public. I mean, it went to court and all that whole thing. So maybe he got more publicity out of that whole deal. But it was thrown out, and it was ultimately they sided for the baby. So yeah, he was too cute, I guess. So what I'm saying, as a DJ, and Brian, I guess he was discussing this, that we do need our freedom, but the only thing that YouTube, and I have empathy for YouTube now, that they do not have DJ recognition software. They don't recognize you as a DJ. You're just another person to them that is posting a video or using music content that you may not be allowed to use, and I understand that. So that is the dilemma, because they don't know you from Adam, and they're not researching you. They're not going to call you on the phone and say, hey, Morrow, are you really a DJ? How long have you been a DJ? Can you sign this waiver or form saying to release us from any liabilities from the record companies? They could do that, but I think for them it'd be can you imagine that? That's millions and millions and millions and millions of people that they'd have to go through and just make sure that they're legit. And as Brian said, you know, if you're promoting it in a negative way, if you're a hate group or whatever, and you're promoting it in a bad way, I wouldn't want to be associated, especially if I produce it. And why would I want to associate with that group of haters or you know, antagonistic, negative people? So I understand that part too. So you don't want to go there. Now, as far as I will say to YouTube, I solemnly swear to be an upholding YouTube citizen from now on, because I understand you guys. I really do. I understand that it's not just YouTube. It's all social media sites that are going to have issues with posting, you know, music content. Now, what I will say, you know, we can as DJs go out into an event, because it's a private event, as Brian alluded to, that it is private, and they are already paying ASCAP, BMI, RIAA fees, and so it's a private event, so we can basically play legal music there. Now, if it's illegal, we can't play it, and they will crack down on you. There's been cases, so I'm just giving you advice, DJs. Make sure you use legal music. They can compensate. They can go in there. The ASCAP police can do that. They really can. So just be aware of that. Now, as far as using YouTube, there's content on there. It's called AutoSwap, which you can use, and I believe AutoSwap's got some good upcoming artists on there, and you could use that legally. You can convert it to MP3 format and use it for your mixing, or just use it on your videos. So that's another safe way of going. Or also using the same music you used before. If you want to use it again, you can use that same music. In my case, when I did some video mashups, that's where the issue was, and that's where I got pinged. And Jonathan Elliskin's, you know, basically on his Facebook, I asked him, well, how many times do you have to get pinged before they say you're out? You know, we're gonna cut your channel. It's just 3 times. So far, I got 1 ping. But like I said, if you notice the matched third-party content on some of your videos, that's kind of an indicator. You don't want to abuse that. The more I think you have on there, the more that they'll be looking at you. So just be real careful with that. So that's just my word of advice. Anyway, with that being said, I just want to make this real clear. Jonathan and Brian, they are my mentors. That's the reason I'm back on. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't on YouTube for a while. I didn't want to post any videos, but they were my inspiration. Now I'm going to Moby, going to the shows, and I just want to say thank you guys for really, you know, giving me that inspiration to do it again. You know, so I want to say thank you very much to those guys and all the YouTube DJs out there. You know, all you guys have great ideas, great advice. All you guys have been my inspiration. So just want to let you know. So enough said. Good gig, God bless. Oh, one more thing. I have been getting a lot of people asking about the emulator touchscreen software. Yes, and I'd like to thank Stacy Ziemans for posting it on her website as well. But I have some research, more research and more insight on that. There are pros and there are cons, and that's with everything, even YouTube. So anyway, see you guys later. Once again, practice and enjoy. Bye now.